on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast an unidentified 19-year-old man from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, sure, the legal drinking age is 21, but like many of us, he decided to get drunk as hell early. And after a night of adult libations, our hero, well, he began that awkward stumble home. And he finally bumbled and lumbered into bed in the wee hours and finally decided, I'm going to go ahead and sleep off my night. But when he woke up, he realized, one, he was not in his bed, mostly because he was not in his home. Instead, in his drunken stupor, he wandered into a stranger's home. Now, the good news is the homeowner was not home. The bad news is that the house was being rented out as an Airbnb. And the worst news of all was that the house was being rented to 3 police officers. That's right. They were visiting from out of town. They're from Montana, so they didn't have jurisdiction. So the Montana cops called the Milwaukee cops. Then the Milwaukee cops showed up, and this guy, by the time he wakes up, is handcuffed to a bed, surrounded by police officers from his home state and from the state of Montana. After they made a video and snapped a few pictures of him, they decided not to press charges and let him go.
That was the right thing.
Yeah, they were
he got lucky there were 3 cops in that area.
Yeah, he was just like, look, man, or the cops were like, look, it happens. He's drunk. It's not like he did anything. It's just he was in the home. One of the cops said they heard something in the middle of the night, but just assumed it was one of their partners. She's like, I didn't bother to get out of bed and check it. Then they all wake up like, who's that kid? I don't know.
Seems like that only flies in the British Commons. Like, you know, you'll see it in Canada.
Oh, God, in England.
You know
they're like,
I mean?
yeah.
You went to bed on my back breezeway. Australia, you got drunk. We escorted them out. Canada, that typically is the one that leads to least confrontation as far as...
But not before we made him breakfast.
Exactly.
Oh, he got drunk last night and slept in, my daughter's bed. So after we gave him pancakes and some bangers, we sent him on his way. Anyway, that kid is fine now. No charges being filed. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please start with what now? Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Peyton. Welcome to the men's room.
How you guys doing?
Hola! Peyton, we're doing well. Peyton, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You know already you have your choice of one of 3 stories. We have The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Well, last time I let Miles pick, so I'm going to let Ted pick.
Drugs. Ted looked offended as though that's even a question. All right. Here is your story. We go to Otay Mesa, California, where a trailer carrying a shipment of watermelons through a checkpoint wasn't just hauling fruit. There was $2.5 million worth of drugs mixed with the watermelons. At about 6:45 a.m. last Tuesday, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, they were working at the commercial facility inspecting trailers, and This one pulled up with a shipment of, quote, manifested as watermelons. Well, a canine officer, we know that as a dog, screened the trailer and alerted officers to the watermelon shipment. Inside of the shipment, officers found 193 packages concealed within the watermelon crates. In total, it contained approximately 1,100 pounds of drugs worth roughly $2.5 million. Obviously, officers seized the tractor, the trailer, and the narcotics. The driver, who was a 47-year-old man, he was turned over to agents with U.S. Immigration, blah, 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 and Homeland Security, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he was booked into a correctional facility in San Diego on suspicion of drug smuggling because, he was smuggling drugs. Now, the question is, what drug was he smuggling in the watermelons? Was it meth, fentanyl, cocaine, or heroin?
Miles, what do you think?
I'm going to think that maybe this truck came from Mexico based on growing watermelons. So I'm gonna say cocaine or meth. We have plenty of meth in this country. It's not like we need any more. Fentanyl seems to be popping up everywhere. You can get heroin. I think cocaine's the hardest thing to get that people would want. And based on the value, I'm going coke.
Was it at the southern border they stopped the truck?
It was at the southern border. Right, so they're coming in through San Diego. It is coming from Mexico. They do their check, and the dog's like, you got drugs.
And fentanyl is everywhere, but it could be meth. A lot of the meth nowadays is from the cartels.
I'm going to go with fentanyl.
Fentanyl? Okay, Peyton.
Yep.
Ted, what are you doing?
I'm doing meth.
Ted's doing meth?
You should put that in context.
Sweet. All right, Peyton, hang on there.
I'm picking meth.
We're going to find out what this guy had in his watermelon. Meth, fentanyl, cocaine, or heroin next.
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
What if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Truck driver down the San Diego border pulled over, shipment of watermelons, but that's not all that was inside the truck. K9 dogs sniffed out drugs inside. The driver was, in fact, booked. The question is, what was stuffed inside the watermelons? Meth, fentanyl, cocaine, or heroin?
And Peyton, that is the very question that we posed to you, and you went with fentanyl, which seems to be all the rage these days. But I'm afraid that is not what was in the watermelon. No, not fentanyl. Miles, you went with cocaine.
I did go coke.
Yes, you did. Oh, unfortunately, not cocaine.
I like my watermelon salted, so I was hoping,
Right before we went to break, Ted screamed out, I'm doing meth.
I'm doing meth.
He's doing meth. He's doing meth. Yay. Congratulations.
Be up for days.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today will be Seth Meyers,
Seth Meyers,
the Jimmies,
all right,
or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
Here's right there, the title. These guys have teams of talents and writers that help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
According to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, 73% of Americans believe a barbecue is not complete without hot dogs. But the bigger story here is that we have a National Hot Dog and Sausage Council.
I'll say either you or Seth Meyers. I'm going to go Seth Meyers.
I'll go Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Get this, according to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, 73% of Americans believe that a barbecue is not complete without hot dogs. I think the bigger story here is that we have a national hot dog and sausage month.
Great news if you're a Costco customer, they're bringing back free samples. But now you do have to go back to lying to the lady with your intention of actually buying the product.
Me takes you. Yeah, I'll say it's you, Ted.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. Well, it's a big bag, though.
I know. Sometimes I just feel bad. I know they don't care.
No, they don't. I don't
think you'll buy it? Like, yes, I think I would. I would, but I'm not.
I'm not. I'm going to end up with a big screen TV in a tent, and I don't need either.
Right. I'll be back by. A sign that we're returning to normal. Costco is bringing back their free samples. But don't worry, they're still being careful. And now a Costco employee will just slingshot a cheese cube into your mouth.
Found. Yeah, found.
That's found.
Another sign that we're returning to normal. Costco is bringing back their free samples. Don't worry, though. They're still being careful. Now a Costco employee will just slingshot a cheese cube into your mouth.
American Airlines announced they're partnering with Rosetta Stone to offer language lessons to passengers in flight. You think someone kicking your seat is tough? Imagine sitting next to some guy sounding out French for 6 hours.
Come on. Seth Meyers?
Valid.
American Airlines just announced that they're partnering with Rosetta Stone to offer language courses to passengers during flights. You think someone kicking your seat is tough? Imagine sitting next to some guy sounding out French for 6 hours.
That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But whatever. Can't have a drink. Maybe I'll just learn a new damn language. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. There's always something crazy going on with basically celebrities in China.
All right.
So if you're in China, you can see the Friends reunion now. But you can't see all of it. The government censors over there, they cut out segments featuring Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, and BTS from it. I
guess they all probably have different reasons for why they're doing this.
Yeah, I don't have them all here, but it is kind of funny that they just cut out the musical people, too.
Oh, that too. Okay.
Right, because there is other actors on there that are showing up to kind of make guest spots.
They must have done something that they didn't like before.
I don't think
Gaga got on China's bad side for meeting with the Dalai Lama.
Right.
Justin once took a photo of of Japan's. Oh, I'm going to screw this up. Japan's Yasukuni Shrine. It honors Japan's fallen soldiers, including war criminals. BTS has gotten under China's skins for various reasons, including supposedly overlooking China's contribution to the Korean War.
Okay. Because BTS, that's who you go to when you want to talk that stuff, China.
Right, and Bieber, you shouldn't, but I mean, there's plenty of times I think a lot of people have taken pictures of things you weren't supposed, because you don't know.
You don't know. Unless I'm intelligent, you go, my bad, but you still have the picture. Basically, China's just petty, particularly when it comes to like any kind of entertainment like that from the West. They're real strict about what people are allowed to hear, et cetera, et cetera.
Bieber peed in a mop bucket.
Right. No more.
It's also, I mean, it is funny. For a while there, Bieber was like enemy number one, but also right, he was a 20-year-old, arguably the most famous person on the planet with millions of dollars. So, he turned into a little bit of an a-hole for a while.
Mm-hmm. The bad news for China, though, is that they still got the Friends reunion.
Right. So there was a lot of stuff going on with Matthew Perry, right? Everybody's like, oh, he's wasted. Did he have a surgery? This and that. It's like the guy who directed it, he said Matthew Perry was great to work with. Said he was people could just be unkind. I wish they weren't. I loved working with him. He's a brilliantly funny man. And he thought he had some great one-liners on the show. I just felt happy and lucky to be in his presence and direct him on something like this.
That doesn't answer the question.
I was about to say, that still doesn't really answer the question of like...
He likes his pills.
Yeah, people are like, yeah. All that's probably true, man. I'm sure he's great to work with. Was he high? Was he high? Because that's what people want to know. Was he high? I just assume he was, but I don't care.
Okay, you meet us out for a beer, right? Whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, you guys did not sound drunk on the air. Well, no, but in this bar we are. We're not. That's not the show.
Exactly.
Sitting around talking to people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, right, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want anybody that's struggling to keep struggling.
Sure.
But like, I don't know. Whose business is it? And they're like, are you going to feel better about yourself or worse if you find out he was using again? Like, in the end, you just hope the dude's all right.
Yeah, I hope he's all right, but the grown man who made a decision, man.
Yeah.
Right? Like, maybe he was. Does it matter?
I guess that's my other thing, too. It's like, right, it's a friends reunion. Does that even count as working? I'm sure he got paid to be there, but it's like,
right.
You don't have
and
to
all he's
do
doing
much.
was a Q&A. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't at work at the time.
Right, and that was a super emotional thing for them. So, like, I don't know. So, you know what I mean? It'd be like being at a funeral and finding out somebody fell off the wagon. Like, well,
there we go.
Right.
Like, it was a funeral. They're there for that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Miles, what do you ask every day?
Oh, man. When are we getting chicken wings?
When is Lindsay Lohan back?
Oh, yeah, whatever happened to her?
You do go on about that.
Boy, is she attractive. I never found her attractive.
Lindsay Lohan?
No.
I thought she was average looking. Then she went through her thing and looked a little, like someone beat her with a meat tenderizer a little bit.
I put her in the Tara Reid Club.
Tara Reid was cute at one point.
I put her in the Tara Reid Club.
After whatever decision she made, man, she came out the other side like, ooh, Tara, what have you done? Like, what is the drug that you did? People say, well, that's just drinking. Like, yeah, most people I know drink a lot. They don't look like that. Like, gone for 2 years, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Well, here's the deal. Netflix is trying to move in on Lifetime and Hallmark's territory of like the cheesy Christmas rom-coms, right? So basically, Netflix was like, all right, we'll get Lindsay Lohan in a movie, which I kind of respect. Like, you're Netflix, you got money. I don't know that a regular one of the old head studios was going to pay her a bunch, but it's like,
of course not.
Hey, like, and the other thing too is like, Netflix is going to start doing the same thing. Why not? Christmas is a money making machine.
Absolutely.
You churn out those Lifetime movies, people watch them all the time.
If they didn't, they would stop doing it. So as much as we make fun of it, I would say they have a huge audience. Look, good for her, man.
Not only that, but she hasn't popped up in the news in 5 years in negative ways. You know, I mean, there was a time there where it was like every week you'd read a different story about something she does or did. Now you just don't really hear anything. So she must have cleaned up to some degree.
I don't think it's that
she left the
cleaned up.
States.
Right. She
Okay,
went
well, there you
somewhere
go.
else to do it.
Wasn't she? I think she owned a beach club in Greece or something for a while.
Or she just went somewhere else to do the same stuff where they don't care there. You know what I mean?
Well, I do think she'll be good in this movie.
Why is that?
Because the plot's kind of like a part of her life.
Uh-oh.
She plays a newly engaged, spoiled hotel heiress.
Jeez.
Who gets amnesia after a skiing accident and ends up in the care of a handsome blue-collar lodge owner. And his
I never would date someone who knows how to use a hammer, but now maybe I will.
well, wait a minute. Isn't this the plot of a movie? What was it, Overboard or whatever? With like Goldie Hawn and
I never saw it.
Kurt
I remember
Russell?
who was in it, but
basically the same thing. He's like working on a yacht or something. The wife falls in and gets amnesia, and he just like makes her his wife.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what they're saying is, rich people only date poor people if they suffer some kind of head
brain
trauma. Right.
Oh my God, I've lost my senses. I'll date a commoner.
Right. They got hit by a car as they were struck by lightning. Right. Now they date poor
Skied
people.
into a tree, and now the next thing you know, I just like regular people. Can you imagine me with a regular person?
That's
it's
a real
true.
pick me up for the holidays.
It's also a very strange, like, just the idea that somebody would be like, well, you know what? She doesn't remember who she is.
Yeah,
I'll just take her home. There's a lot of women I find very attractive, famous or not famous, but I wouldn't just be like, oh, she won't remember. I'll just take her home.
Good news. Mila Kunis hit by a car.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to date her. I mean,
she has a serious brain trauma. I'm going to convince her I'm her husband.
Could you imagine a gas station attendant and Lindsay Lohan?
God, can you imagine the movie? Except in my movie, like, they still don't go for it. Like, nah, something's off here.
No.
Like, sir, I see what you're doing. Are you overboarding me? Lindsay Lohan in it? Let's see if you're going to watch something tonight. There's still NBA and NHL playoffs going on, and then you got America's Got Talent coming back. I know a lot of people like that show in the summertime, and there's usually something crazy on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
What if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
With Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida woman who was rescued from a storm drain in Miami, again found this time in a storm drain in Texas. Meanwhile, in Africa, a giant hippo chases a speedboat in Kenya and appears faster than a Lexus. Drunk guy in Milwaukee crashes at wrong house and wakes up handcuffed to the bed. Bodybuilder who had 2 sex dolls says he's open to dating someone with a human head. And a man sends a radio host semen-stained letters in hopes of getting a song played on the radio. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Top story, a woman that spent 3 weeks inside of a storm drain in Delray Beach, Florida was just rescued again, and you'll never guess where. She had wandered off from a rehab facility in Texas after being rescued from the Florida storm drain and had gone missing. Local police eventually spotted the woman, who then darted into another storm drain. Family and friends were able to track her location using her phone and dropped food and Gatorade in nearby manholes. She did eventually climb out and was taken to a hospital.
Everybody's got their own thing.
So they didn't even go in after her. They're just like, look, just drop some food down. She'll come out.
I think they did initially go in after her, but when they spot her and then she runs into the storm drain, that tells me, like, okay, you'll want to be in there.
Yeah.
To some degree. Now, she was in a rehab facility that she had wandered away from. So there's a little something going on there that's, making her want to. She said that she had gotten out of an abusive relationship, so that led to some sort of an amount of trauma that kind of left her in there, but
that is an odd thing.
It is a very odd thing. Another news, a couple in search of hippos in Kenya got a little more than they bargained for. Talked about this earlier today. In a video going viral online, the three are floating through the water on a speedboat in an area known for being a harbor for the animals. We can see a group of about 6 just going about their days, mildly curious of the boat as it flows by, but then the camera shifts to a massive hippo breaching right behind the boat. They speed off and the animal gives chase for roughly 4 minutes before they can no longer see traces of it and made their way to the shore unscathed. I don't know why you go on a hippo adventure.
I mean, I guess they live that. Again, from their perspective, as they say, they're like, well, the attacks are rare.
Right.
So we figure we'd be safe. I think if you're not from somewhere, all you hear is other stuff, right? So
sure.
Baltimore, super violent city. You're not going to go there and get shot. Right. You can be if you want to be, but generally speaking, it's not. So I'm sure in their mind, it's like, oh, hippos rarely attack.
Right.
Except this one.
And they did say it was a rare occurrence.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also 4 minutes straight.
And they also said that they knew the dangers. They know that they're dangerous animals. They know that it's rare, but that doesn't mean it's impossible, that they could very well be attacked. Mm-hmm. And for 4 straight minutes, this behemoth is lumbering its way through the water at an incredible pace. To be honest.
So fast.
Yeah, you better be paying attention out there, because they'll come up on you. Then what are they going to do? Ram the boat, knock you over, and eat you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
It does not matter what it's not going to tickle me.
It just doesn't look like it's going to swim beside the boat going, how you doing?
I just assume it's exactly what they're going to do, is knock it over and eat you.
I believe that is their MO. They're basically giant pigs, and they don't really care what they eat. They're just going to get after it.
Maybe you keep calling them that. That's why they're so bitter.
Then they might be delicious.
That's right. I don't know why this guy keeps popping up, but he does, so we'll talk about it. You all may recall the Kazakhstani bodybuilder who married a sex doll, cheated on her, married another sex doll, and then got divorced. Good news to all those eligible bachelorettes. He's now come out and said that he's open to the idea of dating, true alive humans.
I'm sure women are lying, because that's the guy, my experience, most women are like, tell me your past relationships were with sex dolls.
Yeah. Right. Well, here's my thing. It's like, you've been married twice. What's going on with you, man?
That's a good point.
How come you can't hold on a relationship? Well, I cheated on her. That is it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for a return of Who Sucks Less. The lovely Taryn Daly's up next.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.